Offensive holding has become a big microscope on the internet right now. I think it's the hardest thing to call, right? Because you could call it every play if you wanted to. You really could. You could call it every single play. Can you talk a little bit about what they're looking at and if they're scanning or if they're watching individual people or kind of how the whole offensive holding is broken down?
That's a great question. I'll do it real quick in two parts.
Yep.
Referee and umpire, both on offensive backfield, split the interior line on the side of the field that they're on. So referee's on the right hand always in the offensive backfield. He works right guard, right tackle. Umpire works center, left guard, left tackle. Sweep away from me. If they sweep left or run wide left with me, I'm working those backside people, looking to the second level to see the blocking on linebackers going to that second level. If it's play side, I work from the inside out, start with the guard, get to the tackle, because my outside official's working from the tight end back in. So we're bookending that play and covering it. Now, relating to the level of how you apply the art of when is it really a hold or when it isn't, that's the art of officiating, right? So, yeah, is there restriction on every play? Yes, there is. Is he holding him within the framework of his body, right? The defense is not outside the frame. He's basically happy to be there while he's just getting jammed, stock blocked and jammed. And now when he tries to get out of that tight restriction, which is fine, right? I'm inside of you. My feet aren't beat. I'm owning you. And now you try to swim, move me, get to my edge, and now you restrict me outside of your frame. Now we're in that place where it rose to a level of now, is it a foul or not, right?
Gene, this is the play that's being talked about. Obviously, there's two parts to this. Everybody's talking about the holds that are happening. Two of them before he even starts to run. Left tackle, right guard. Either of these holds, if we're to break down in slow motion, wasn't called live into play.
Yeah. The left tackle play, I think the initial thing, if we watch the initial charge from the left tackle play, the defense comes in hard, then he dips a little bit. It's almost like he's going to attempt a rip, but he doesn't, and the tackle gets on top of him for a second. I wouldn't call that because defense initially put himself there, but then we get engaged. Then we're locked. Now when Patrick starts to roll to the right, now he continues to restrict on that shoulder, which doesn't allow that defender to kind of get away from that restriction to start pursuing. So to me, in that level, that's when it rose to, okay, now we have a hold, right? But it's at the end. This first dip by 91, that's a dip. Now I got a half rip. Now I'm holding. Now I'm trying to get away, and I had the restriction. Is he going to get there? More than likely not, but he's close enough in proximity of Mahomes at this point right here when he starts to break back to his right, that now that hand outside on the shoulder pad, he's out of the frame. He's trying to now pursue to the defender's left, and that restriction now has elevated to where now, again, slow motion breaking down, he's materially affecting that defender's ability to continue to make the play he should.
How about right guard? How about right guard there?
Give me that one. Let me run it back. I'll break it down for you without my bifocals right now.
Atta baby, Gino.
And look, it looks like half rip, and then he's starting to ride. See, if the defender put himself in that rip and just starts to ride while he's got pressure on the inside of that tackle, unless he can really beat his feet, and you'll watch if you roll back to the beginning of what appears to be a rip. Right now, go ahead forward. When you see the dip now, okay, defender, you put that right arm of that offensive player around you. He didn't go hook you around the neck, right? Okay, but you better beat him now and get ahead of him. Get north to the quarterback for me to then say that guy going to drop. Right about there is when it does occur. So it's kind of in that blended mode right there, right? So in that world we live. And really then, these are the mental snapshots when you're in the game and watch that play maybe happen 10 times this game. You and that umpire need to know what you have called, what you have allowed, and for players and coaches and for the game, you have to be on the same page to know we're letting that go today.
And now,
or we're calling that today.
Hey, fourth quarter,
right?
14 seconds left, too. That's a big time. And a lot of people get pissed off about a ref making any call there. Like, hey, let the players decide whether or not this is. Swallow the whistle is what you hear a lot of players say. Let the players do the thing. But then at the end of the play here, Gene, end of the play obviously becomes the late hit heard round, literally the world. He was clearly out of bounds. Have to call this, Gene?
Got to call it. Yeah, got to call it, Pat. This is 2 feet in the white. Look, Osai is hustling, right? You guys know how quick this occurs. But, at this point, this isn't one of those tiptoes. a tiptoe, and right before his foot hits the white, he gets blown up. 1, 2, boom, I'm finishing you. It has to be called. That's just a foul. That's a foul the first play of the game. It's a foul the last play of the game. That's where that play has to live.
Yeah, his right foot's out, left foot out. Well, they said he's hovering. He's not necessarily there. It's like, and he's a quarterback, Is there
Well, look, the one that used to bother me a little bit, not bother me, that was hard for me, and it's with the younger quarterbacks, the Lamar Jacksons, my day, Michael Vicks, those ones, Cam. They would start up the sideline, right? And then try to get that extra 1 more yard as they go north and south, and we don't know if he's in or out, and now all of a sudden that foot just hits in the white and he gets blown up. I wouldn't call that. You know what I mean? Because you're trying to get out of bounds. This is an insignificant yard. Don't be tight-roping here, and then your foot just hits the white and you get blown up. And you want me to what now? Protect that? No, go out of bounds. Leave the yard for the next down. Don't put me in that box. I'm not protecting you there. That would deter, hopefully, right? The quarterback the next time you got to that place to go, I got no love about 3 minutes ago. It hurt. I'm just going to go out. Made my life a little easier then.
Gene,
right?
you were also very vocal with everybody and communicated with everybody, which I think is a massive part of the whole managing the game, which some guys can't do.